Welcome back to another episode of the Technical Area. This time around, we got the preview show. We're back again, previewing now match week 11, I believe it is, as we start to continue here along in this beautiful season. We start to get in these late winter months, and that's when the real fun starts, when those games start piling up. You got 2 games a week, or at least for us, that's when the fun starts. For the players, it's obviously very taxing. But, we got to review all of this and get into everything that, we're expecting for match week 11. This week, as I mentioned on the review show, if you guys want to go take a look at that as well, it is on my YouTube channel here. We're going to change things up here for the preview show. We're going to just break down 5 games, what I think are the top 5 games to look at each week. And then we're going to give you break them down like we normally would, and then we're going to give you the predictions for the other 5 games as well, just in a quicker manner. Kind of get this thing going, moving along, keep it to about 10 to 15 minutes. I noticed they've been running a little long lately, so I wanted to cut it down a little bit. Also, it gives me the ability to get these to you guys quicker and easier, while also giving you guys a majority of the information you need. Because in the end, a lot of these games, especially this weekend, as you'll find out, there's a few games that one team is just better than the other team, and that's really the only thing that is necessary to know about the game. So, without further ado, we're going to break down again the top 5 games that I think are going to be played this weekend, and then give you the predictions for the other ones. And let's start off with Manchester United at Bournemouth. This is the Saturday game at 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I think it's 12:30 p.m. over in England. With the clocks changing this week, it gets to be a little bit different. But Man United currently sitting in 7th place, Bournemouth in 9th place. I think this is going to be a really good game. Now, Bournemouth are 2-3-11 all-time against Man United, and they haven't beaten them since 2015. That game that they did beat them in was their first game against them after promotion to the Premier League. Since then, 7 games, 5 total goals, and Man United are against Man United and are 0-1-6 over those games for Bournemouth. Their only win did come at Bournemouth, though, so that's a little bit of a good omen there. Man United's got a host of injuries just to roll through them. Bailly, Pogba, Matic, Shaw, Tonzabi, Fosu Mensah, and Dalot. I don't think there's only 2 players who could possibly be back this week, Matic and Shaw. So that'll be something to look out for, a little bit of a boost defensively for Manchester United. On the Bournemouth side, Charlie Daniels, Stanislas, Brooks, and Gosling are all out and will be out this week. This is an interesting one. Man United got their first win in I don't know how many games. In their last 5 games, that was their first win. Before that, going loss, draw. Meanwhile, Bournemouth, they've been in pretty decent form. Haven't scored a goal in the last 2 games, but also haven't given up a goal in the last 2 games. Granted, against Norwich and Watford, so that is a bit worrying. But because this game is at Bournemouth, I think that gives them a boost. I say this every time Bournemouth plays at home against a good team, but that place, the Vitality, is such a hard place to play. And I think that gives them a boost this week. I think this one ends in a draw. I'm not convinced by Man United's 3-1 win at Norwich last week. And I think that Bournemouth can pull out a draw in this one and get a point out of this fixture. Moving on now to Wolves at Arsenal. Wolves currently sitting in 12th place. Arsenal in 5th place. This one Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. 3 p.m. I believe it is over in England. Wolves did beat Arsenal last year at home in their return to the Premier League. Their first win versus Arsenal since 1979, which was a 20-game stretch. Last year was a draw at Arsenal 1-1. The Wolves did win at home 3-1. The injuries, the main one for Wolves is Willy Bolly will be out. His return is unknown. It's a foot ankle injury. And for Arsenal, Reiss Nelson will be out. It will continue to be out with a knee injury. Arsenal did have a terrible, terrible last, I guess you could say, 80 minutes of their game against Crystal Palace, giving up 2 goals after going up 2-0 within the first 10, and have lost to Sheffield United on the road in their last 2 games. That's coming off a pretty good stretch there where they beat Aston Villa, drew at Man United, and beat Bournemouth. This game is also at home for them again, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yes, this game will also again be at home for Arsenal, so that will definitely be a big factor for them. I think that will definitely help them out in this game and probably deter Wolves from putting in a good performance or a better performance than they normally would, or a better performance than they would at home. Wolves has been in good form though. Draw, win, draw, draw in their last 5 matches. They've beaten Watford and City. Those were the 2 wins over the last 5. Much better form than they've been in, than they were in before that stretch. So things are looking up for them. I think Arsenal pull this one out though. I think Arsenal get a win and they find themselves grabbing all 3 points at home. They really need a bounce back victory in this one. Especially after the loss at Sheffield United, 1-0, not scoring a goal against them, and then the disaster that was last week against Crystal Palace. They need a win, and I think they get it against Wolves at home this Saturday. Moving forward now, Burnley at Sheffield United. This one may not seem like something that would be one of your top 5 matches, but I think this could be a really exciting match and a really good match overall. Burnley currently sitting in 13th place. Sheffield United currently sitting in 8th place. A surprise from them. They've been terrific this year defensively. This game's Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. over in England. The last time these 2 teams played was 2011, so not much there, not much to go by. Burnley has some injuries with Drinkwater still out. He possibly will be back next week, not this week though. Chris Wood could come back this week. That would be a boost for Burnley. And then Goodmanson, he has a thigh injury and it's unknown when his return will be. Sheffield United, no injuries or suspensions. I think this could be really good because I think both these teams are really defensive. So it's going to be a really good defensive battle, and it's going to be about who can break down the other side. I think Chris Wood coming back into the fold for Burnley could be a boost for them. Sheffield United, though, their defense is so good. And I think this is going to be, it might be a bit boring to some neutral fans because I think that this one could end with no goals from either side. But I think it's going to be a really good defensive match. Now, Burnley have lost their last 2 games at Leicester and versus Chelsea, so you give them a little bit of a break there. Sheffield United really have been fantastic in their last 5. Win at Everton. They did lose to Liverpool 1-0 though, and it was a tough goal to give up. They drew at Watford and then beat Arsenal and drew West Ham United. I think this one ends 0-0 or 1-1 in a draw for both of these teams. I think that the defenses are just too good, and I'm not sure either side is going to be able to break the other one down. I think this is going to be a really good defensive battle, and it ends in a draw. Moving forward now to Leicester at Crystal Palace. Leicester currently sitting in 3rd place. Crystal Palace sitting in 6th. This will take place Sunday at 9 a.m. This, I believe we will, in here in America, have turned our clocks back, so it's back to the normal times that we're used to seeing on Sundays. So that'll be, I believe, 2 o'clock over in England. Leicester have lost the last 4 meetings between these 2 clubs and have only scored 1 goal total in all of those meetings, which is a little bit surprising. But I'm not even going to break down this one too much. And I don't think you should look into that too much. I think Leicester are better than they were, significantly better than they were in the last 2 years, which is over the course of those 4 last meetings. They're in fantastic form. In their last 5 games, they've won 4. They're only lost at Liverpool. I believe a late penalty or something there, a late goal in that game gave Liverpool the 2-1 victory. Crystal Palace have been in really good form as well. A couple wins, a couple draws in their last 5. But again, Leicester are better than they have been in recent years. They are very, very good this year. A very dangerous team. Haven't shown too many weaknesses. I think Leicester get the win here. And they walk away with all 3 points and another great win on the road against Crystal Palace. A team that has surprised us as well in Crystal Palace. But yeah, I think Leicester get the win. Moving forward to the last of the 5 games that we're going to break down in full. Tottenham at Everton, Sunday, 11:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 over in England. Tottenham currently sitting in 11th place. Everton currently sitting in 16th place. Both teams struggling immensely based on where they should be in the table. Everton haven't won this fixture since December of 2012. They're 0-6-7, so 6 draws, 7 losses over the course of that time. So not a great thing looking forward to for Everton fans. Their last win versus Tottenham was at home for Everton, though. And last year, Tottenham won 6-2 at Everton, and there was a draw at Tottenham in the return fixture, 2-2. This is going to be, this is a battle of 2 teams who are desperately in need of a winner, desperately in need of a change of luck. Everton last week lost at Brighton after going up 2-1 in the 74th minute. And Tottenham lost 2-1 at Liverpool in a tough loss for them as well. They only have 1 win, Tottenham, in their last 5 games. Everton, similar, only 1 win in their last 5 games as well. The difference between the 2 teams, Tottenham drew Watford. Everton has lost the other 4 matches in their 5 games, and those were matches versus Sheffield United at home, Man City at home, Burnley on the road, and then, of course, Brighton at Brighton. Both these teams need a win. I don't think either of them get that win. I think this one ends in a draw. I just can't see either of these teams playing good enough defense to hold on to a lead. And both these teams have had some trouble scoring as well. You look at Everton, they've scored 5 goals in their last 5 matches. And Tottenham have scored 4 goals in their last 5 matches. 5 goals in their last 5 matches as well. So not great from either team. I think this one ends in a draw because neither team is going to be able to hold their lead. And I think that somebody, gets a late goal in this one and it ends in probably a 2-2 draw. Then that's it for what we're breaking down for the top 5 games. Those are my top 5 games, I think, for this week. To go over the other games real quick before we close this one out. Newcastle at West Ham. Newcastle in 17th place. West Ham in 10th place. West Ham have no wins against Newcastle, no wins in their last 3 matches total in Premier League play. Newcastle have 1 road win all year, so not much for either side to go on here. But I think West Ham win this one. I think they're the better squad, and they're going to get the win at home. Moving on to Liverpool in 1st place at Aston Villa in 15th place. Not really much to discuss here. Liverpool's going to win it. They're going to beat Aston Villa. They would beat Aston Villa wherever they played them, I think. Liverpool, easily the best team in the league this year so far, and they continue that against Aston Villa. Norwich at Brighton. Norwich currently sitting in 19th place. Brighton in 14th place. Norwich, they haven't won away all year and haven't won since their win at home versus City. Brighton coming off a pretty good win against Everton. I think Norwich picks it up. I think Norwich finds a way here to get a draw. Probably 1-1. I'm not sure Brighton's going to be able to score enough goals to get them the full 3 points. Moving on now to Southampton versus Man City. It'll take place at Man City. Man City currently sitting in 2nd. Southampton sitting in 18th place. Similar thing. We just saw Southampton get beat 9-0. Even with the red card, I think that's bad. And I think that Man City pull out a win here. And then finally, Chelsea at Watford. Chelsea sitting in 4th place. Watford in 20th place. Chelsea have won 5 of their last 6 games. Watford have scored 5 goals total in the entire Premier League season. So I got Chelsea winning this one, coming out on top, continuing that great streak that they've had here going for the last few games. There you have it, guys. Hopefully that was a little bit quicker. Hopefully you guys got all the information you needed. Hopefully we broke down the games that you wanted to hear. If we didn't, let me know. Always open to hearing the criticism and some games you wanted to hear about. And obviously, like I mentioned in the review episode, we're going to mix these games up. We're not always going to show, the top 6 teams. And as we did, we showed that. Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool all playing games they should win. Didn't feature them in the top 5 games because I don't really know if there's much to break down there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you guys keep following me. And hopefully we just continue to enjoy this Premier League season together as the season grows forward and we continue to move along here in the Premier League campaign. But for now, that's all I got. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.